Hey, this is Tom and Nick, and in this episode, we're going to make this clamp. Alright, so in our last episode, we went ahead and did some of the work on this. As you'll note, thanks. We cut the parts out of the plasma cam, and we went ahead and got everything started. So you saw Nick working on the finish, the brushed stainless steel. Just about everything on here is actually stainless. We went with aluminum soft jaws though. These plans, the plans that we used for this, are slightly modified, but effectively they're the plans that John Saunders from Saunders Machine Works NYC CNC is making available for everybody on the Fusion 360 drives. So what we did differently, right, just so you know, there's, rather than have a step after the inner jaw here, we made the step do both the inner and outer jaw so that they both ride on the same axis. Other than that, it's just about the same. Some slight size differences. I made a mistake when I imported his drawing into the PlasmaCam software. I actually resized one of the 3/16 holes I thought were supposed to be 1/4 inch, so the entire clamp is slightly different. But otherwise, it's all stainless. This is 303 and 304 stainless for just about everything but the jaws here. So, oh yeah, the handle is 12L14 because that's what I had. Yeah, so we went ahead and put it all together. We screwed it together. We even made the screw itself. This is all 303. So the threads, and we did the whole thing. And so sit back. We're gonna go through. We'll probably do it in fast forward, but I'll show you some of the steps that we did. And not yet. We're not ready. We're just gonna sit. But we'll be back in just a little bit. Right, so by the time they got back into town, I had cut the parts, but they all needed to be deburred. And so Nick got his first lesson in hand deburring all these parts. Once he got all the holes deburred and ready to go, it was time to clean up the little nubs you get from the plasma cutting. So he did some hand filing. We looked at concepts of what we were going to make. And then he got to work on the brushed pattern for the stainless steel parts. So he did all that by hand. From there, it was over to the lathe. There's 3 pins that needed to be turned on the lathe, and so we worked together on these. One is just for the hinge action, and the other is for the drive itself. So that part that you're looking at right now is actually the one that got drilled for the 3/8/16 portion of the handle. So we go back and forth between the lathe and the mill in this whole project. And so for this one, Nick was getting a lesson here in finding the center of the part. So we used a wiggler to find the center because we were getting ready to drill and tap that 3/8/16 hole. And so we found the center. We did our offsets. He learned about taking up backlash on the mill, things like that. We also went ahead and did a couple of different methods. We looked at layout and using layout to find your points. And so we went ahead. We found our center. We went ahead and get it spot drilled. We did we did a facing up first, then spot drill, did a 1/8 through hole, and then from here I actually switched gears to his surprise, and Nick did the drilling on the I guess it's actually, I don't remember what the drill size is for 3/8, so it's a 64th under. But we did do power tapping on that one, and again we were using the anchor lube for all this stuff. It worked great. So we got everything tapped and went ahead and got it all deburred and ready to go. So from there it was back to the lathe to make the handle and actually make the screw portion of the handle. We'd already turned it down, and we were using that new Ingest. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But we were using the thread cutting attachment on the Colchester lathe. I just recently did a video on that, so if you hadn't seen it, go ahead and take a look at that. But made it really neat for us. It allowed us to talk more about the concept of threading rather than focusing on the actual motions that we had to go through. We could talk about why we did things certain ways rather than being so focused on chasing thread dial lines and things like that. So we went through it. Also, it was at this point that we also noticed that we had a little bit of a taper on the part. So not a lot, but it was enough that when we were working, checking our thread clearances, that we could see it. So nothing we couldn't fix with a little filing action and just a quick cleanup. So we got that going. Everything was fine there, and you can see we actually had we had turned the end down to 1/4 inch. We actually once we parted everything off and got all that part done, we actually did a 1/4 20 thread on that end, and we did it. So I showed him doing it by hand versus doing power tapping. Got that going. Time to drill the hole for the handle. This was a pretty simple operation, just like we did last time. Do the pilot and then do the three. This was an actual 3/8 through hole. So we got the handle together. From there, the last parts to do were the jaws, and so Nick got the hacksaw out and started getting our rough cut blanks, and then from there we used the Dorian CCMT, the recycling face mill, and we got the parts all cleaned up and to spec as far as width, and from there we went ahead and got it all put together. Well, thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. I got an opportunity to work with my nephew Nick on all this. We worked in the lathe, in the mill, there was the CNC plasma cutter. We did some stuff by hand. We had the hacksaw out.
That was super annoying at some points.
Yeah. So Nick, was there anything that you wanted to say?
It was actually super fun to make, and otherwise, no.
Well, Happy New Year. Really appreciate you watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Yes.
Bye.